Fine snaking. He's forced to use a leap. It's not too bad to start with a leap as Mirana, because you can kill the couriers easily. Before, I would say that was a bit...
self-grief.
Self-grief and also griefing on whoever you're playing with. But having leap level 1, I think it's fine. You're going to be harassing, getting out of trouble potentially, and also the courier snipes.
Yeah, and speaking of kind of ease of execution and things like that, we did see Talon pull off some really sick plays, right? That tiny Magnus lane where they were tossing and skewering people back into tower. They've definitely got the skills and the abilities to land these kill shots, get the team fights in the position that they want to. But yeah, one of the struggles we saw them have, though, was this potential to try and kind of break out of that laning stage into mid-game and have the proper connections, smoke ganks into some of these higher-level teams that are reading the map very nicely. And we know how well Falcons can do when they have that really strong, solid foundation of laning stage, get into these mid-game fights, the direction of snaking, and especially when you've got Moonlight Shadow just to give you permanent smoke and invisibility to move on the map like that, connecting into ganks can be quite hard for Talon here.
That's such an underrated ability from Mirana. Having, snaking already down to half HP. I mean, he does have leap, so it doesn't contribute much. Forced to leap away from Bramble Maze.
Timber gonna have that kind of 1v1 against the Dragon Knight for the early portion here. Like you say, Joker, I'm kind of zoning away the Mirana for the most part. In that mid lane, we've already seen Chuen go up against Malrine, forcing Swashbuckles to get away from Static Link. Quite a long cooldown on Swash here early on, but Malrine's probably going to be using that just to jump away from Chuen's Razor. And quite an interesting draft thinking back on it as well. The post that,
he already started it.
What's going on?
He has 5 denies in the mid lane as Pango against Razor, so he's already inside his head.
Oh, Skitter though, dead. Joker and WS getting that first blood up at top.
Mirana, again, level 1 with the leap, doesn't provide you with much. We talked about griefing the lane, and then they hit level 2. They start to play much more aggressive. Joker thinking about what he wants to pick up on level 2. Maybe wants to get a point in Curse Crown to try to set things up on a Dragon Knight, get one extra spell from Timbersaw. Bottom lane, Akashi sitting at 5 CS. Amar focusing on denying and also focusing on harassing that Faceless Void. Not going to be an easy lane for Faceless Void by any means. Again, long CD on that time walk, 24 seconds, level 1.
And for the Maiden as well, right? Trying to contest Lotuses or pulls or stacks or anything. Very challenging here for that Maiden bottom against a Hoodwink who has better attack animation damage against a Viper. Crystal Maiden quite slow. Gonna have to watch her positioning. I did quite like this Willow pick, though, at the end of that draft. We saw that kind of interesting, Razor, Timber, DK, Pango, very early core pick. Yeah. Willow rounding out, giving a ton of control here. And when you've got this, I don't want to say new Timber build, it is just a normal Timber build now, right? Forget reactive armor, forget tankiness. He is just raw damage output. You want that little bit of control just to help you out.
It's not the hero that I expected him to pick. I was thinking about more of a position 4 that can go in, because your mid laner can't do that. Your carry kind of in the mid game needs to be that guy. Timbersaw, I guess his role is going to be, all right, look at me, I'm tanky, try to kill me, and then they're going to play off of that, because Dark Willow can't easily set things up. This is not position 4 Tiny with a Blink Dagger that starts a fight.
So what is this going to be, like a Yule's Kaya Sanj game for WS? Just tank up, have utility?
Yeah, I could see that. I think that's a good one, because you can set things up for your own team. Having a Dispel mechanical is going to be good, but we've seen a lot of Kayas into Blink Dagger, and this is where the trouble starts for Team Talon. Ponyo looks very dead on the screen. Amar will get the last hit on it.
Yeah, you step up as that Maiden, you're just done for. There's fodder in that lane to try and keep the Faceless Void alive. Malrine, 19-11. Pulling out the Colt here against the Razor in that mid lane.
He's going to kill him, probably.
Straight up dead. Solo kill for Malrine. I don't know what the numbers were. He was at 17 or 18 solo mid 1v1 kills. He's gonna die, but still gets that first takedown for the golden experience in the mid lane.
And there it is. A little bit of smileys in the old chat. Second time. Malrine very happy about his performance, as he should be. I mean, he is playing into Razor, and he is dumpstering this matchup.
Look at the two creep wave boys. 19-12, 19-12. Absolutely spot on the money as Ponyo dies one more time down at bottom. and laning stage. Falcons very well known for it, as we see Talon just kind of not even weathering the storm, they're being beaten and battered by it here, by the Falcons in his first 5-minute period.
I like how Malreen's playing aggressive in his face with the shield crash. He's like, yeah, I don't care about your damage. I don't care about you stealing even 50 damage from me.
You know it's bad when your Maiden has died with no TP, it's on cooldown, has to buy a smoke to walk slowly back to lane.
Akashi in the bottom lane. This damage over time. One of the reasons why Faceless Void doesn't like to play into Veno, doesn't like to play into this overtime damage in general. Even if you use Time Walk, you're still going to receive some of it. So quite a difficult lane for him. And also paired up with Crystal Maiden. This is like, Maiden is a strong hero, don't get me wrong. But when paired up with Faceless Void, like, doesn't give you much. Like, usually you want to have Crystal Maiden with something that can kill people.
You want a partner in crime.
Yes.
You want to spend with a stun or something along those lines. A gyrocopter, you know, would always be great. But yeah, you're going to have to be looking for that mid to late game here for Talon, I think. As they are absolutely having some struggles with a 2,000 net worth lead already pre-6 minutes. Malreen knows the distance he needs to jump to get away from that static link in the mid lane. Top 3 last hitters. All dire heroes. And my god, I didn't even realize Faceless Void is 8-1 right down at the bottom, below the Mirana even.
When you said 8-1, I thought you were talking about the kill score, but yeah, CS doesn't look too good. We kind of expected him to struggle, but this is getting real bad. I also don't know who needs... I think it needs to be Chuen who fixes those lanes, because things are... He's doing okay. You know, it's a 2k gold lead for Team Falcons. Malreen has double his CS. Everybody down to 20% HP in this bottom lane. Looks very difficult. Malreen will use that Rolling Thunder, and we'll get another solo kill, it seems. Healing spell, buying a little bit more time, but it's not enough.
There we go. Shield crash it down. 4-2. And Skitter looks like he's got to the point now where he's tanky enough just to withstand any of WS's nonsense. Bringing crit up here as well with a bushwhack on the Timber. Quite a bit of damage and control. WS has raindrops, already popped his stick, so it looks like the little bits of whittling damage to come out in the end will take him down. Every single lane here. Domination for Falcons.
Amar.
Viper has more denies than Void had last hits.
He does have 9 Magic Wand charges. Thinking about popping it if he can get the glimpse of Akashi, but he cannot.
It's a big kill. You know, Twen gets it, quite a bit of money, get the Viper out of the lane, but yeah, your Void and Maiden are still looking absolutely battered and broken. Snaking. Wandering around. Jokam has already picked up that Wisdom Rune, it looks like, though. Snaking's going to get forced back.
One thing about Falcons is they don't care about lanes. After 5 minutes, they're just playing their own game. Everybody's rotating. You see crit, TP rotation. Now he's playing again near the mid lane. Again, potentially backstabbing the top lane. Let's see if they're going to be able to find WS one more time. A bit too deep, I would say, because WS does have that tower protection.
Just hiding in behind it. Another scan will give away the positioning here of Snaking and Malreen. At least Falcons knows the aggression is coming. I'm not sure how they are going to plan to respond to this. Bringing Maiden up top. Appears like they want to try and stop the push at the very least, because Skitty with his dragon form are just battering away at the towers. And Falcons realizing there's no go up top, so they've swung back into mid.
4-man rotation.
Initiated on.
Peter looks very dead here.
Yeah, good move. Kind of pretending that he still had buddies nearby, but good read from Talon there. That's a couple of core kills now. Talon remedying some of the problems they've had early on. Still, 3k lead in building for Falcons, but signs of hope for Talon.
Not going to be an easy game. You have heroes who are really struggling. I think WS and Chuen needs to pull on some weight in the mid game, because things are already looking pretty rough. Faceless Void in recovery mode. You did mention that he is the lowest net worth core, so this is also not the hero that can come back to a game easily. He needs to land the chrono, maybe get a kill, go back to farming without dying, and also one of the heroes that can clear the stacks early on.
And any kind of itemization in particular we want to see from this Void? Like, is there a Hand of Midas, comeback itemization going to come in, or is it just this Master Madness Maelstrom?
What he has in his quick buy, that's been pretty much Faceless Void standard nowadays.
Things aren't as drastic as that. No need for the Midases. Chuen going to hold out back in that mid lane. Yeah, getting in ahead of that Dragon Knight in terms of net worth now, putting a bit of pressure on that mid tier 1. Falcons making a concerted effort down in the bottom right corner. On the objective down there, it looks like. WS setting up with a couple of supports behind him. So they're ready to defend the Timbersaw, but also go through the Twin Gate if they decide they can actually get a move down to bottom. Maybe even wait for Falcons to come up through that Twin Gate if they want to set a fight there.
Falcons, they're ready to defend the tier 1 tower mid. Razor, pretty tanky, having that bubble raindrop. But Malrine, he wants to play aggressive. Arrow will miss.
Rolling Thunder.
Chuen denied regeneration rune.
Still on this Razor with a lot of damage now with Amar arriving. And that Rolling Thunder ending. Curse Crown is there. Amar with crits still going to get on top of Jokam for a double kill on your Viper. Now Ponyo, very isolated, left out on an island. Not much Akashi can do here. Level 5, 10 minutes in, so not even a defensive chrono available here for Akashi. As the Moonlight Shadow is going to allow Falcons here to close the gap onto Ponyo.
They really want that level 4 Maiden, huh?
Get it.
Big chunk of money, 221 for Malrine, which will push him closer to his Diffusal Blade, just 300 gold away from it. I don't know what Takashi's doing mid. Level 5 Faceless Void.
Leeching 6. Please let me get a chrono. Something.
Go away, Chuen. I'm trying to get my level 6 here. He's pretending to be level 6, but you know, these esports gamers, they're really good
at reading.
Yeah, they can click and they can see the numbers and figure out Faceless Void does not have chrono.
He does not indeed. Yeah, you're right. Primary items here for Falcons going to come pretty quickly. Diffusal on Panga, you mentioned. Blink is 500 away on the Dragon Knight. And then you look at this Viper. I mean, he's got already the laning stage items with the double Wraith, Treads, Wand, going straight into Mage Slayer, Dragonlance. So going to become incredibly difficult to kill. And then you've got, again, just like the Falcons style of playing, right, is having multiple frontliners that can play wide map. And then you react onto those tanky guys because they buy time to allow Hoodwink Mirana to move across the map to find the fights. Stay alive as long as possible.
That was the problem that Panel was talking about. They don't have that guy who can initiate, who can start a fight and try to make stuff happen. It might need to be Akashi setting things up with Chronosphere now that he is level 6. But they also need to bring some extra numbers because Jokam, he's level 5. They don't have that extra damage that you can put on with Bedlam, so...
Well, here's the thing, right? They go on Skitter. Chrono's good. Cantus Amar on the left side as well. And a lot of damage out of WS. Looking to take down the Dragon Knight and finding the kill with 4 members all around him.
It's all about leeching that XP. 2 supports, not contributing much, but getting themselves closer to level 6.
So not quite enough time there for Malrine to get into the action. And Amar, of course, getting stuck in that chrono. And Talon with a good initiation as they move back up the top. Leap into leap into leap from snaking. No escaping here, though, with the dust and the brambles down. Final bit of damage from WS. Reclaiming territory and getting back into the groove. Talon finding a foothold after the laning stage, which was honestly disastrous for them.
Yep, 2 good kills for them, getting those level 6s up. We mentioned that WSP needs to be active on Timbersaw, and he's been involved in 4 out of 6 kills. This Observer Ward also providing them with crucial vision, so they can get those ganks going. Akashi is the one who's really struggling. He's sitting at 3... He almost has the same amount of farm as position 5 Mirana.
Yeah, it's hard. I think we've got Kaya coming for the Timbersaw.
Oh,
yeah,
they caught him.
Oh, down he goes. The sharpshooter through the dead corpse of the Faceless Void. Tough stuff for Akashi. We've seen these games, though, where some teams only get support kills, right? Just killing off a position 5 over and over again. At least Talon are finding core kills, important ones to try and buy them time to get into late game. And good attempted move by Chuen there to get to high ground, but now he's stuck on low ground, moving and turning around on the snaking. Dragon Knight in, and with that breakdown on Timbersaw, tons of magic damage comes his way. WS and Jokam both fall. Amar with a double kill. And is that the Crystal Maiden trying to scurry away with a couple of 100 health? Well, they don't see her. Instead, turning their eyes and targets onto the Faceless Void to bring him down, and a triple kill comes out of Amar, and the smiley
double smiley this time from Malrine. He's really feeling himself. What a perfect role coming out from Malrine, controlling pretty much the whole fight. And once that ends, then he gets the swashbuckle onto 2, burning some of their mana as well. They can't take the fight. Like, they don't have enough damage. You said that the only heroes that they can kill are some of these like position 5s. They're focusing down snaking. This is exactly what they want them to do, because he does have a leap charge available. He can easily get out of trouble if he doesn't get bursted immediately. Going into mech next, and you can see Akashi. Akashi, bottom 3 right now in terms of net worth. Both supports from Falcons overtook that spot.
Yeah, man, at least they've killed Skitter 3 times, right? That's in their heads of Talon. Like, we can kill a DK. He is a killable hero out there currently. Double bracer blink for the Dragon Knight, primarily the initiation tool here as Akashi. Chronos up Malrine. Not enough damage to finish him off though, and with the shield crash swashbuckle, he's got the distance away. Akashi now jumped and stunned as the Viper and Hoodwink gonna take down Ponyo. Akashi gets away from the breathe fire of Skitter. Malrine with a swashbuckle though, tons of damage. Takes down the Faceless Void again.
This is looking really rough. I mean, they need to set things up with Chrono, try to get a kill and get out of the trouble. They don't even get the kill. Malrine way too tanky, gets the shield crash off, burns his mana. Oh, Skitter's gonna find another one. Malrine.
Oh no, the Razor. No escaping. There's too many stuns here as well, right? Having this Rolling Thunder, the Dragon's Tail, the Arrow, they've got combos all across the board. So there's not even a chance to maybe try and TP home.
He immediately wants more. Malrine going back to the bottom lane through the Twin Gate, continues to farm up. Needs another 1,500 gold to finish off his Aghanim Scepter, so having a huge amount of farm. That's the problem with the lineup. Like, who's gonna set things up? If things don't go too well, you got Viper last pick to counter you, and now you lost like basically all three of your lanes. So what's the plan right now? Like, how are you coming back into the game?
It's got to be based around this Timbersaw, right? He's the big damage dealer, top net worth on Talon, has himself Kaya, and looks like he's working on Eternal Shroud. So not going for that Kaya Sange or the Yule straight up. Wants to try and tank up as much as possible. I mean, WS has been, it felt like the shining star of this team so far, has pulled out amazing plays with his Magnus, etc. And on this Timbersaw, he's got to be the one that's kind of face tanking everything, but also doing the damage. You know, he's going to find that balance
God, he's
between them.
again.
Oh no. Oh, Akashi.
Both supports on Talon, they need to stop farming as much because Faceless Void will become the lowest net worth hero in the game. They need to stop getting the gold.
You're making him look bad. Hoodwink, maybe here a snipe out as Jokam will take him down along with Ponyo, but the turnaround from Falcons will get some retribution. 2 supports for the price of 1.
You look at your carry, 17 minutes into the game, he has Broadsword as his item. You know, things are looking pretty bad. This is just, I think this is one of the saddest Faceless Voids I've seen in a while.
Can you call him a carry anymore?
I don't think so.
It's like calling Donkey from Shrek a noble steed.
No, I don't know what he is. He's something between position 4 and 5 right now, with less impact.
Tread up at top, TP attempt. Do we have a stun? We do, of course. Skitter was arriving, Snaking had the arrow. Trent dead. One more time. And Akashi, has he been spotted there? I don't know if they had vision of him, but they are running towards him immediately.
Leave him alone, guys. He's already dead. Stop.
Leave Akashi alone! Timbersaw gonna run away from Amar, who just 1v2 zoning them, and Akashi, time walk away, but Skitter gets the gap closed, jumps in, and in a blink of an eye, the Faceless Void disappears.
Mask of Madness has been finished, so didn't lose any gold. Level 7. Yeah, things are looking pretty grim for Talon.
Goodness gracious me. And it's only going to get harder as well, right? Mage Slayer on... is it on 2 heroes? They've got Mage Slayer, Viper, and DK.
Yeah, we can see a couple of deaths. 4 deaths in the mid lane, 1 in the outer ring. He's like, yeah, I'm so bored dying in the mid lane. I gotta find myself a new spot. Goes in the outer ring, dies there. Moonlight Shadow, the power of it. You said pretty much a free smoke underneath the ward. They're trying to take a fight.
Trying to kill off this Hoodwink. Crit, caught up in the chakram. Nice little snipe there coming out of the rest of Talon. Just try and push Falcons away from these tier 2s. Hold out for dear hope to get into... I don't know, into late game somehow. And we need this to go 20, 30 more minutes to get Talon back into it.
Yeah, if somehow Falcons can stop from getting the gold for good 20 minutes, even if they're killing creeps, I think that's the comeback that Talon does need in this game, because this is just a complete domination. You don't have a carry. Like, his teamfight contribution, the only way to allow him to come back into the game is have some kind of a save item, some Force Staff, some Glimmer Cape. Then once he goes in, you throw a Bedlam on him so you have the damage inside with the Chakram, and then he needs to bail out. No, that's pretty much it.
How are you going to stop them from getting money, though? Like, are you going to try and devalue Falcons' currencies? Buy 1,000 branches and give them to them so their money becomes worthless?
Great idea, Gary.
Trying to catch out this hoodwink. Crit does slip away from Jokam on the right-hand side as Malrine goes pretty deep here onto Ponyo. Not quite enough to finish her off on his own, while Amar opens up on Jokam and two supports from Talon. Yeah, absolutely destroyed by Falcons as they run over them. Skitter's looking for that +1, the bonus kill. Cherry on top of this would be this Timber Saw. Or Akashi faces Void. He's always stunned up in the trees as he's trying to TP. Akashi.
Can he get out?
Walks to high ground, trying to cut through and juke them, but I don't think there's any escape from this. Snaking will claim the life of the Faceless Void.
I like the item choice, the neutral tier 2 from Akashi. He took Philosopher's Stone because he knows that he's going to be dead a long time, and he's got to get the gold somehow.
Can they even do this?
Nope.
Yeah.
They're not on the same page. They're falling apart completely in this game.
Oh, this is a little painful. I mean, BKB's up here for Timber Saw, so switching out from that Eternal Shroud, just trying to find these little elements that will maybe give them a chance to get back into this. But yeah, you've got like Philosopher's Stone on the Faceless Void trying to catch up, and you've got Specialist Array on the Marana, just accelerating and rushing forward. 7,000 net worth on Snaking.
Let's see if he drops his Philosopher's Stone when he's farming so that he doesn't lose on the damage. Try to hide it in the jungle, have a courier on top of you, because right now this is taking slower than it should.
Wait, what is it, like minus 20 damage or? Minus
30 damage, yeah, it's pretty big.
Well, here goes WS. Freshly purchased BKB, not used just yet. Trying to find an opening there onto Falcons down bottom. Double Observer Wards though here, I think one in the Radiant base and one down in that bottom lane. Scouts everything perfectly. The Falcons sees everything coming. And Falcons doesn't feel like they're particularly in a rush to do anything, right? These tier 2s would be nice, but they could get into their next round of items. Think about a big team fight into Roshan. It's quite early days here to go high ground.
I'm looking at this Philosopher's Stone. It just doesn't look right. At least put it in the backpack when you're farming, when you're about to finish the camp a couple of seconds before, put it in. Because minus 30 damage, that's quite a lot. You're losing basically 25% of your damage.
No, I've not seen anything quite like this. In all my years of casting, I've not seen a position 1 carry have this hard a time.
Philosopher's Stone's good for certain mid-heroes. Sometimes you'll see Zeus, Tinkers will pick it up if necessary, because you're like not attacking, you're farming with your spells, but Faceless Void doesn't have those spells.
Time dilation, woohoo! Snaking and Malrina hunting for him again. Oh. Chuen just pinged the Tormentor. If they decide to try and go for this, they could meet a nasty surprise. Falcons in the area, and they scan the Radiant. They know there's a couple of heroes lurking around here. So Radiant Vision right there near the Ancient. Dire Vision just above it, further up. A Sentry Ward there does spot the Invis Malrine Pango. So at least Talon will have a good idea, but still losing their Dark Willow there.
Falcons, they can snipe from a distance. Like one blink initiation from Dragonite, stun, and then you have either arrow to swashbuckle, sharpshooter, and now they're gonna steal their Torby. Let's see, maybe he can steal it with Chakram, and he can.
He did.
That's nice. A nice play.
Oh, that's great stuff. I'll do a bit of happy clapping there. A little victory for WS. No stealing Falcons, no thievery, no pilfering of the Tormentors in this game anyway. Yeah, very nicely done.
Nice play. 2 9-second BKBs, one on WS and one on Chuen, so that's gonna be how they are trying to make a comeback. But your Faceless Void is still sitting at just Mask of Madness and Gloves of Haste, so his teamfight contribution definitely not gonna be there. It's basically gonna be a position 5 Faceless Void going in, setting things up with Chrono, so your Razor and Timber can deal damage.
Is it time to bring out Slash's Way?
Might be.
20 salves, mech. Heal people up with the Blink Chrono, whatever he's up to.
And also to point out the itemization from Falcons, they do have 2 Mage Slayers. Playing against Timbersaw, if you also having, you know, magic resistance against Dark Willow, which is gonna be great. But if you get the first jump, if you hit Timbersaw, this item has been nerfed, so it doesn't last as long. Before it was 6 seconds, now it's only 3 seconds, but still reducing the damage. They understand that Timbersaw is the biggest threat on the team.
Yeah. I mean, I guess this is what you get when you unleash the beast of Falcons. You know, you put them in a situation where it's do or die in this kind of series. You need wins to progress through the tournament. They flicked the switch and said, hey, no messing around now. Nice bushwhack there. With an Acorn shot into Arrow. A ton of control and magic damage to blow up Jokam. Dead for 30 seconds. And honestly, the jump into this mid lane, Skitter trying to continue it. No follow through. Don't want to get too rash with your decision making here, going high ground so early on.
Seems like they want to end the game. They want to control pretty much the whole map. Gem has been purchased by Falcons. Crit is the one holding it. I don't see any vision except the one near the top tier 2 tower from Talon.
So when we find ourselves in situations like this, was this drafting? Is this a draft issue?
This one definitely comes down to the draft, but I mean, sometimes, usually you don't see, because competition so far at the ESL One Birmingham has been, you know, the games have been looking pretty even, I would say, even though we had some of the stomps. This is one of those stomps. I think Gaming Gladiators had a pretty rough game yesterday where they couldn't get the kill with Zeus ulti for like 15 minutes. Maybe they didn't even use the ulti at all, so yeah. This one definitely on the draft, but also the gameplay. Like sometimes it's hard to play, and you're also playing against pretty much the best team in the world right now. I would say, even though Extreme Gaming did win the last tournament, Falcons still look like they're, you know, consistently good.
Man, Amar. I was wondering, like, why is Amar attacking so quickly? You know, he's got Manta-style Hurricane Pike, incredibly farmed Viper, top of the net worth. As Malrine goes in on that middle lane, another Rolling Thunder, bouncing around onto poor little Jokam. Does he have the fear to push him back, as it looks like Chuen has died elsewhere on the map? Both heroes falling quite quickly there, and Malrine picking up his godlike streak. And with Aegis in hand, Dragon Form used, Skitter is directly on the high ground. Forget creep waves and teammates. Well, I just want tower kills. Get me up there, boys.
They want to end this one. 2 dragons attacking. Really glad that Dragonite is level 18. With level 1 dragon, the green one, he definitely looks like Viper.
Yeah. 2 brothers in arms. Malrine being a little sneaky there in the tree line. He's looking for a move. Rolling Thunder is still 30 seconds away, but it doesn't seem he needs it. Swashbuckle, good damage. They do get this BKB Chakram in onto Skitter. Half HP or even less now, down to 30% on the Dragon Knight, but it doesn't look like Talon want to chase him any further forward with the Moonlight Shadow and, of course, the protection of that Aegis having a second life.
Backdoor protection kicking in, but it's gone now. Amar also wants to pick up the shard for the sieging purposes. Him and Dragon Knight can easily kill the towers.
Down goes the melee. Ah, yes. Faceless Void.
Oh, we forgot that there is a Faceless Void in this game. Farming on a different side of the map, very important. I think this game might end where he doesn't even land the Chrono.
He got one. He got one.
I meant from now on.
Okay,
like, he gets jumped, he dies, doesn't have buyback, game ends.
Very, very
Or
possible.
he could just not show up at all.
Just PvE. Like, guys, I'm farming. What do you want? I need to get my items.
Keep them busy for the next 35 to 40 minutes.
Yes, yes, boss. Absolutely no problem.
Value from Philosopher's Stone still didn't kick in fully.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, I think at this point, Talon needs King Jenkins and his entire round table to come in on their knights and lancers to try and hold back the Falcons here. Viper on the front lines, holding them back as Skitter will get away from the Chakram damage. Malrine moves forward with a jump in, rolling thunder. There's a freezing field and a chrono there. Onto Malrine. They're going to get the kill on the Pango. Down he goes. 2,000 gold into the hands of Talon. And Akashi moving forward.
I think Malrine is going to buy back. I think
so?
he's going to buy back and they want to end the game.
Rage buy. Let's go. When Chrono's down, what else is going to stop him? Skitter still just beating at buildings. Amar, the real carry in this one, going to stand up on the front lines and hold them all back. Chuen with his BKB, trying to chase into the Viper here. Oh, dodges the Terrorizer, looks like, with the Manda style. Skitter holding the ground, but the Viper's going to fall. Talon fighting back. They get the takedown on 1, 2 cores, now a third. Aegis gone. Crit the snaking, trying to turn back. Malrine did buy back. You're right. With the Rolling Thunder back in onto the Faceless Void. They're going to get on top of Akashi. Can he try and walk away from this? Does he have the protection? No.
That Rolling Thunder.
Far too good with the arrow over the top of it. Ponyo now in trouble as well, but WS and Trent are still going. Snaking has that leap to get a bit of distance off Malrine and Crit. Turn back around. They've got the firepower here to bring down Chuen. Buyback's ready on the Razor. No Faceless Void and no Dark Willow now, though. Leaves WS and maybe the Razor as the last two holdout heroes against Team Falcons.
I want to see damage from Malrine. I think that's like 7,000-8,000 damage coming out from him. Yeah, 7,000 damage. Insane. Like, he's Rolling Thunder, these swashbuckles from Aghanim Scepter. It does hurt, and that's going to be Mega Creeps. No chrono for 30 seconds. 26,000 damage total.
I mean, WS has done about 16k. You're going to add a few more to it now, but dying here to the 4 members of Falcons with no buyback available. He was just trying to hold them back to maybe allow his teammates to respawn.
I'm no expert, but I think they can call this one. Yeah, they can call it and start thinking about what went wrong in the draft. Try to fix it for the second game.
Philosopher's Stone still there. The Vindicator's axe in his backpack. Not swapping it in, needs the... Oh, there we go. Now he swaps it in.
He did send it back. No more Philosopher's Stone.
And Mega Creep's going to pose a pretty serious challenge for Talon as well at this point. Well, you've got Maelstrom and Plasma Field. A bit of nuke damage out of the Maiden. Snaking gonna leap away from the kind of fake initiation there from Talon. At this point, we're kind of fighting for one more battle, one more chrono. See what happens off the back of that. Who were they playing? There was that Magnus Tiny game, right? They were losing, they lost all their buildings, but they still held on for that one chance.
Let's see. The Desperation Smoke. Let's see what they can find. Roshan.
The Mega Creeps, man. Timbersaw, come on, please. Help me out a little bit here. Smoke on the high ground as well. Radiant know there's someone waiting for them. Snaking breaks the smoke. Perfect place, perfect time. That's going to allow them to grab the Tormentor, get Snaking his shard. Ah, dearie me. 2 minutes for Roshan to even respawn as well. So it's not as though Talon can get out of the base and do too much.
She almost has Wind Waker on Mirana, so that's going to be the save, even if there's going to be a Chronosphere.
It's a 12 and 2 Malrine, 9 and 2 on Amar. Faceless Void still down in the bottom 3 as the Hoodwink gatekeeping the net worth board for the Faceless Void. Just in behind the Razor, as Mirana, like you say, overfarmed, very large. Actually, a monumental performance from Falcons here in game 1. 30k lead, 33 minutes, almost getting to that magic number. Resilience from Talon, though, as always.
Skeeter wants to jump.
He does. Finds the catch on the Crystal Maiden. Ponyo drifting away from a bit more of that damage. Skeeter gets turned on here with a freezing field and a static link. In comes WS with a chrono. Oh, Akashi, he's in on them. Snaking Skeeter both dead. Massive hold here by Talon as the Viper's in trouble as well. Amar surrounded. Malrine is going to come in to try and help him up. Clean up.
Stealing.
There's a ton of spell lifesteal and damage out of Amar. Gets a double kill and Jokam falls. GG called.
That was a good chrono. Like, this was the best fight from Talon that we've seen in this 35-minute game. But yeah, Faceless Void just completely countered in the laning stage. Last pick Viper.